What do you think I did all day today?
Work.
Can you be any more specific? What's the name of the company?
Blue Corona.
What does Blue Corona do?
Blue Corona works for kids who want to go to Disney World.
Who told you that?
You.
It's close to accurate. What is Mom's company?
Mom's company is stay here and be with us.
What does she do all day?
Cleans. That's what I think she does.
What else does Mom do all day?
Take snaps.
I knew it! I knew that's what she did all day. You know, there's an interesting dynamic when you're building a business where when you start the business, you typically start as a maker. So you are creating the concept of the company, if there's a product involved or the service and you're developing that service, you're creating all the marketing materials, the website, or you're giving someone the instruction to create the website, creating all the sales presentations, the proposals. You're probably giving the sales presentations. You might be creating content to establish yourself as a subject matter expert, putting together presentations. There's a lot of work that would be classified as maker work. And while you're doing that, your phone is typically not ringing at all. So I remember when we started Blue Corona, I remember specifically coming in the summer in flip-flops and shorts, at 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and I remember the phone not ringing one time all day. You contrast that with today, we can't even have a company meeting off hours without our phone ringing constantly. We put it in do not disturb, and some of these solicitors find a way to dial through and get the phone to ring. So in these early years that you're starting your company, you're spending a lot of time in maker mode. And again, you have large uninterrupted blocks of time to do that, which is great, because that's what a maker needs. They need large uninterrupted blocks of time to do the work. Now, as the company grows and scales and you start hiring people, all of a sudden you find yourself becoming more of a manager and a leader. I mean, a leader at best, but a lot of times you find yourself becoming a manager, where all of a sudden your day is broken up into all these little increments of meetings and interviews, and people need your approval for things. And it's really a completely different type of work. And so I think as a CEO of a growing company, it's been interesting for me to try to decide how to split up my schedule between time to be a maker and time to lead and manage. Just shoveled, and it snowed more. I gotta dig my ass out before I go to work. I'm driving into the office. It's Monday. I don't know what the date is. January. I don't know what the date is. My voice sounds a little like that. It's because I drove my car yesterday in the snow, and I think it's got these aluminum wheels where there's not much wheel there. So I think snow and ice is built up on the wheels and maybe on the brakes. Brakes work just fine. And everything's unbalanced. So the faster I go, the whole car vibrates. This can't be normal. I'm driving 52 and I'm not trying to make my voice like this. I'm driving home from the office. It's 6:35. Got in at about 5:15 this morning. I was just thinking about it. I spent the entire day in either meetings or interviews.
Here you would see like we're on budget based on the forecast. Here is where we start to get in trouble, and we would have to adjust. So I had said to Tyler yesterday, I just want to give you a heads up. These are some of the things I'm going to highlight. I didn't want him to be caught off guard, and I think he's already adjusted the budget based on it. But you could look at down here.
I don't know if that's normal. I've just noticed as we've gotten bigger how the communication overhead associated with everything has grown and how hard it is to keep everyone on the same page.
Great job, by the way. She's sharp as hell. Michelle did a thing, and then I said, so I just want to make sure, let's all confirm expectations. And I went around the room and said, what's your expectation on report? And they all went around, and it, believe it or not, it was what my expectations are.
On the one hand, I think of it as just a struggle, something that every company's got to deal with, and so you try to put a management operating system and a personal operating system in place that allows you to be as effective as you can with the growing size of the organization. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, the folks that are, anyone that's still awake, listening to this, watching this. Just be curious to hear your thoughts on whether, how you spend your day. Those of you that run companies about our size, about 10 million in revenue, service companies, professional services companies, how do you spend your day? I'm curious. Let me know. When you say that I never tell you how great you did, this meal has every single thing that I enjoy. It has chicken. I'm a big chicken person. I've never had zucchini noodles, but they are great. There's some pesto in there. I love everything that's in this little concoction. Someone ate all the avocados out of it, but this I could do without those little baby tomatoes or dice them up. And this is the mix of it all. You did a fantastic job and I love it.
Thank you.
Stock price is increasing and I think you should just keep it up. The market is looking favorably on your performance. Thank you. So can I have this exquisite meal like every day, every night? Or like a lot?
A lot.
Different variations.
Yes.
Can you find different ways to mix it up in ways that intrigue me and will keep me motivated? Why are you laughing? Do you always sing when you floss? Tell me what you're gonna do today.
What?
Tell me what you're gonna do today.
I'm going to go outside and sled. And then I'm going to shake a tree on me.
Oh, that's cool. What do you think I'm gonna do all day?
Work.
Good morning, everybody. I'm getting in the car and I'm off to Vistage, not to present, but as a member. I'm going to attend my monthly, I guess, board meeting. I don't know what you call it. I've been in Vistage now for 3 years. Vistage is a peer-to-peer CEO group. The basic gist of it is that the problems and challenges faced by a CEO, a business owner, president, A, they're unique, and B, there's some challenges that you don't necessarily want to convey or project out to your entire company. So Vistage creates a confidential, safe environment with non-competing CEOs where you can talk about the challenges, the opportunities, the issues that you're facing. Our chair sent instructions prior to this meeting, and the thing that he asked us to think about was, what do you need to accomplish in 2019? What must you absolutely accomplish in 2019? Or I think his exact words were, what must you get right in 2019? So what exactly, just waving to a neighbor there, what exactly do you need to get right in 2019? And then what do you have to get done? What decisions, what challenges, what opportunities are you facing in Q1? And that is perfect for me, because I'm hammering away as we start the new year, and it's good to get off-site, to get out of my office and out of the office environment where I'm not going to be interrupted, to sit and reflect about what do we have to get right in 2019. The leadership team of Blue Corona, myself, and what are the challenges, the decisions, the opportunities that we have in front of us in Q1, and how to prioritize those. So it should be awesome, and that's what I'm doing today. That goes all day long to about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Bye. Driving home at 6:18 on Thursday evening. I'm coming home from Vistage. I had an awesome meeting with my group today. The new group is a CE group, which is comprised of larger companies. So I think in our group, we've got a whole bunch of sort of $30 to $50 million companies. I would say I'm one of the smallest in the group. I think there are 2 other members that are smaller than Blue Corona. In today's meeting, it seems like the challenges that a lot of the members are facing, have to do with size and complexity. Running a larger organization, so like an organization with 250 employees, for example. And one of the things that a member said today in one of those larger companies, he said, when we were smaller, when we had 50, 70 employees, when a problem would happen, like a client's upset or something didn't happen the way that it was supposed to, this is the CEO talking, he would say, I would get an email, at 10 at night that there's a problem and we need to fix it. And then he said, I'd wake up at 5 in the morning and meet with my business partner in the office, and we'd hammer through getting the train back on the rails. At the size where they are now, he's saying he doesn't have that. What happens is the bad thing happens, and he's told a week, 2 weeks, a month later. I've been noticing that at Blue Corona's current size, I've been noticing that more and more things get to me after they've already happened. The group today kind of gave me some perspective on how you can prevent that with organizational structure and expectation setting. And again, it's just stuff that it's common sense when you hear it. When you hear it explained, but when you're in it, all these things start to happen, right in front of your eyes, and but you can't see it happening until it's too late. So the whole thing was just really fascinating, and I got so much value out of today's meeting.
Goes on to here, presumably like this.
Captivated. Sunday morning, went out late last night again. I keep saying that I don't go out much, and then then I keep going out a lot. So I don't know what that's about. I'm driving into the office to work on the 2018 review data. I got to get all the data together, and then I got to put together the 2019 plan presentation. I don't have to do that today, Sunday, but it's a rainy day. My kids all have play dates. My wife is just tooling around the house, so it seemed like a good day to get it done. People ask why I work so many weekends and why I check in to Blue Corona at 5 a.m. on any given weekday. The answer is simple. My job, my day-to-day job, my core job requires me to operate off of a manager schedule, or what people call a manager schedule. It's a job that requires availability of time in small incremental blocks. And candidly, my schedule is probably going to get even more busy, and those time blocks are going to get even smaller over the next year. So I personally find it very difficult with that kind of schedule to do anything like that would be considered maker work. So big presentation to the company, writing a speech, preparing a PowerPoint presentation, writing a blog post, a white paper, an article, an opinion piece. I think it's very difficult to do that kind of creative work when you're operating off of the manager schedule. So my solution to that problem in the past has been I come in on Saturdays and Sundays when necessary, because on Saturday and Sunday I can easily get 6 to 8 or 6 to 10 hours, a big block of uninterrupted time. And that's especially true in the winter as opposed to in the spring and summer, where the kids have a lot of activities, or I might want to be out playing golf. So in the winter months, it's like you come in on the weekend and I can just get in the zone and get big project type things done, or advance something that I was thinking about much easier. In terms of during the week, the best thing I can do is get into the office at 5. And between 5 and 8 or 5 and 9 in the morning, the odds that someone is going to start chatting me via our internal Blue Corona system, or start calling my cell phone with requests are like tiny. So by coming in at 5 in the morning, I can control and kind of keep it nice and quiet, where I can do some extended project work. Of course, the challenge with that is that if I have a day, say a Wednesday, where someone has booked up my schedule, where it's like hour by hour, half hour by half hour, then coming in the morning at 5 in the morning, you're really more prepping for all the stuff that you normally would have maybe done between those meetings, following up on emails and approving things that you had kind of missed because the previous day you were going from meeting to meeting. So there are challenges associated with it. Some people have said, well, if you run the company, why don't you just take a day or two each week and spend that time off-site? If I thought that the company was in a position where I could do that, then I would. But I think we are growing at 30% year over year. We're tackling all sorts of big challenges. I'm the CEO, which is more of the working on the business or looking outward into the marketplace, but I'm also the president, which means I'm the equivalent of the COO, which is making sure that the trains are running on time and managing and making decisions. So we're not in a position yet where I can do that. So what can I control? And I can get in early. I can come in on the weekends. I enjoy it, and so that's how I deal with it. That's why I do what I do. Deal with it.